Corner. You're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
And right now you're looking at a live picture from St. Thomas, one of the U.S. Virgin Islands, courtesy of EarthCam. Right now you can see that they actually still have power after Dorian tore through that part of the Caribbean. And so let's turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Derek Beasley. He's been tracking Dorian.
Yeah.
And so going past the U.S. Virgin Islands, what are we to expect now?
Yeah, it looks like it's now going to be moving out over some warm water. The ideal conditions actually for it to intensify. It doesn't look like it has a whole lot going against it for it to really intensify. And we're seeing that right now. You can see from the radar, this looks like a classic hurricane on radar. You've got the eye, you've got the very strong rain bands that are kind of spiraling around the center. And it's leaving San Juan, Puerto Rico right now, at least leaving the Puerto Rican coast. It's about 73 miles north, at least the outer edge of the eye wall, now north of the coastline, as it tracks off towards the north there. So, again, moving away from the British and U.S. Virgin Islands as well as Puerto Rico, so conditions should be improving there. As we go into the next couple of days, though, this northwest movement will continue, and what we're going to be watching for is that critical left turn. When is that left turn going to occur? And actually, just based on some of the latest data from one of our computer models, there's some indication this thing could slow down and maybe stall just offshore. That's just one run, though, but pretty interesting scenarios there. There's still quite a bit of uncertainty there, but you see how wide the cone is. If you're in the cone, you need to be paying attention. That includes the entire peninsula, eastern panhandle now. And you can see that it goes all the way up from southeast Georgia, for the coast there, all the way down towards the upper Keys. But the maximum sustained wind still at 80, but the pressure has been dropping. So the storm is intensifying. We'll see if the winds respond with the next advisory coming up at about 11 o'clock, maybe a little bit before that. But you can see that westward turn, when that occurs, is going to be critical as to where. If we do see landfall on the Florida coast, where on the coast it's going to happen? Is it going to be more of a northwest movement? Will it be more due west? But you can see the computer models are kind of tightly clustered, and they've been fairly consistent with this. They've shifted around a little bit, but they've been fairly consistent with that landfall somewhere on the Space Coast or perhaps the Treasure Coast a little bit farther towards the south. We'll see if those tracks end up shifting a little bit farther south over time. Of course, if that were to occur, it would put us in the potential for bigger impacts here. But right now, it looks like it's just kind of a wait-and-see game for us. We're going to continue to watch it, make sure that you're prepared just in case the track changes and we end up having to deal with the effects of Hurricane Dorian later on this weekend into Labor Day. Of course, we'll have more in your forecast coming up a little bit later.